welcome to Damsels. This is our, I think it's part 3 of our mini campaign of Dark Waters. It's an underwater 5e horror game. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. I'm Tiffany, the DM. I am usually the DM for Dungeon Damsels. And we'll go over to Michael.
Hey guys, Michael here at RoboSurdy on all socials, and today I'll be playing Velayrn, our merfolk cleric of Laki, the shark god. The shark coven!
Thank you. And we'll go to Serena.
Hello, my name is Serena. I am playing the part of Sonom Hashsa, the barbarian Nosalyn.
Yeah.
Big smashy tank.
I'm going to turn to Kristen.
That's my name. And my Twitter handle is Chris Ellie. And I play Nosalyn. And she's basically Batman, except less cool and rich.
She does have a lot of Batman vibes.
Yes.
So just
I'm so glad they got a nice nickname from it.
So some background for our mini campaign that they these individuals live in the underwater city called Yamasha, and the Coven of Laki is basically more or less the government in the area, and Velayrn is a member of the Coven. And then Sonom serves the militia in the area and has lost her boyfriend, lover,
Secret
to
boyfriend.
the mysterious rift that is near the town. It's basically this place that... Did I go?
No, red boat.
Oh, my boat dropped. Okay, that's fine. And there's this mysterious rift, basically in time and space. No one really quite understands it. And as she was patrolling with her platoon, her lover simply vanished. And she doesn't know where he is. And then we come to Nosalyn, whose job was to protect this rift. And she... her companion... What are we naming again? Kenneth. Yeah, Kenneth. Kenneth. Her companion, Kenneth, realized that this rift was getting bigger, and he decided to go and try to find help, and then he didn't come back. So then Nosalyn left to go and find him, and then found out that she also could not return to the rift, because she would try to go back to the rift and would just never make any progress. Just time and space would not
allow it.
Not allow her to do that.
And she's basically married to her job, so this is big for her. This is tragic.
Yeah.
People should feel bad for her, but not too much. She'll feel hurt.
And there's just a lot of strange things that are going on. People are missing. There are little, land masses, part of the coral reef is gone, just vanishing. And then you get word of... Then Velayrn earlier took care of an incident over at the trenches, which is where the sea serpents lay their eggs and entrap their prey with their basically mind hive slavery. So those are two of the problems in the area. And then there's this mysterious sort of vessel type thing that the land dwellers made. And the Coven Mother said, I want that, so I'm sending you and this nerd, Finn, who is sort of a local scholar, to go and capture the vessel in the name of the Great Laki. So they went forth to do so. Nosalyn being promised to be helped in closing the rift or try to find a solution for the rift as she served the Coven. So they went forth into the trenches, encountered more strange happenings, like a sea of manatee. Not a sea of manatee, a group of manatee came and behaved strangely. Velayrn tried to communicate with them and received these strange, garbled, nonsensical words, which was unusual given her magic of speak to animals. And then they ran into the sea serpent, found that they could not best it, and fled into the trenches where they found the vessel that the Coven wants. So they entered the vessel and found out they're not alone on said vessel, and whatever is there pretty much wants to kill them. So they ran into some problems on the vessel and are trying to get to the control dock to basically drive it home. And they got to the engine room, did battle, and now they're worn out and panting heavily within the engine room at the remains of the elementals that powered the ship.
Velayrn is just breathing heavy. And is like, I think we need to take some time to sleep. I think we need to try to recover if possible. I mean, I'm not.
We can only hope that this place is safe enough now. Nosalyn is like a little winded, but she seems to be doing okay.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't think we have a choice.
Okay, so you guys want to just hunker down in the
I mean,
engine
we
room?
could.
I think we all deserve a nap.
I'll
I
do
don't think
first watch.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. We've just cleared this room out from the threat that was in here.
As soon as Velayrn says that, Sonom just starts to drag out whatever is there, like shove whatever like leftover mess from the battle there is, look at the doors, glare at them, wonder if there's anything larger to push in front of them without damaging anything in the room.
Okay. So you guys settle down in the engine room and try to catch some sleep to rest. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we trade off watch?
Yeah, we can trade off watch. You
Okay,
said you were
Sonom
gonna
will
be
take
straight.
first watch. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys settle down, try to ease into some hesitant form of sleep. You take the watch, observe the ship, and feel it shifting beneath you. 1 hour passes. It's quiet. So
Can I
you
make
guys-
a perception check to see if we truly are alone?
Yeah, you can keep a vigilant perception.
Yeah. It's a 5 altogether.
Hey,
Hey,
Yeah.
starting off strong.
Through
doing it.
your battle-worn weariness, you observe the engine room. It sputters, and there's one containment vessel that is actually still like intact and was undamaged. So that's what's keeping the ship like going. And it hasn't behaved in a strange way. It's just functioning. You listen to the ship or a vessel and just hear its clunks and clangs and the outside hum of water above you. And what are we doing? Going on?
It's hard to hear inside of a tin can.
Yeah.
Can't really tell what sounds are the ship and what sounds are things in the ship or what is.
passes. It's quiet. It is still. Nothing has happened again.
Can I take a look around?
Yeah.
She's a little curious about like what kind of humans were here when they were whole.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna take a look around and see if there's like anything left over, like maybe a notes or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Log.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
If you're trying to pull logical conclusions.
Yep. That is an 8.
Okay. You observe this area and you walk over the steps and you notice that the steps are pretty short. And you look at the handrails, they're pretty low. You look at, like, there's a workstation just, like, kind of stopped into a corner. And you, there's, like, some, what you think are books. They're made of some stuff. Oh, it's like, how do I explain paper to you guys? Jeez. It's made of this, like...
It's like the driest kelp I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's
the
a weird
driest
color.
kelp, it's white.
It's like grass, like the pale thistle grass that she would see when she goes topside.
Yeah. It has the same texture to it, and there are these markings on it. You can tell that it's a language of some kind. You're not sure. The letters are kind of wacky. And you just sort of leaf through it, look around, and you can find, there's actually like this sketchbook in there, and you pull it out and look at it, and there's some like rough drawings of what you think are like land dweller people. They don't have fins. They have like these weird monkey-like faces. See, I guess you've seen monkeys on that island.
Yeah, like small little apes, and it's like all have significantly less hair, round cheeks.
Yeah, round cheeks.
More nose in the area of where monkeys
yeah, the
are.
noses are like big and blocky, and these in particular tend to have a lot of like facial hair, just like really weird.
Mm.
Can you flip through it?
She finds them quite cute. It's like they're cute in like a weird way.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have tails.
Sort of some more.
Let's see. Can I find anything else like this? Like something obviously like used, like I'm sure that clerics and people in the Temple of Lockheed, like they have tomes or at least tablets that are particularly beaten because they're very used and they're very old or they're very important. Can I use my passive wisdom to sort of perceive if there's something that's sort of like this but more in the way of something useful to drop on Finn when he wakes up?
Okay, so are you trying to look through the book to try to find something that's like religious or something important? Like, what's the question you're trying to get answered?
This book has pictures, which is information, and that is helpful. I want books with information that Finn can glean more from these people in the pictures.
Okay.
So I found books. I could just collect them all and drop them all on Finn.
Yeah, you go through them. You can't make heads or tails of this because it's like a dense text, like wall of text, whatever it is. It's not like handwritten. It seems like a mechanically like typed almost by and it's. Well, I don't know if you guys would have like mechanics in like underwater.
It's very linear, so it doesn't look like it's painted or drawn.
Yeah, it's really linear. You touch it, and there's even like an indent to the paper or the kelp, almost kelp. You're like,
Almost
that's
kelp.
That's interesting. And at the end of the day, you just wind up taking all of the books over to Finn. Who?
Yeah, she has the idea to drop it on him because usually they're underwater, and that would just be more like a blah, 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 blah. But then she's like, heft, looks down, drops it next to him. Good call. Don't drop it on him.
Yeah, thud on. Being like claying on the metal floor. Finn like spurs awake. Ah!
She's just sort of like, she just toes the book, and then like she's still holding the pretty sketchbook. She kind of likes what's in them because it's like nice, and she just wordsmith, more words, don't understand, strange things. Just sort of like nudges the little book. You look at him. He knows things.
Finn just, there's this long and baffled stare, and he's like, yeah, you're a real master of words. He picks up the books and flirts leafing through it. This is like, it's like a technical manual for the engines and how they work, it looks like. So that's important if we ever, like, actually maintain this ship, then we'll know how to get the engines going again. And like most of the books are just pertain to the engine room, but you do find a diary, and Finn looks through it, and he's like, "Oh, this is like a vessel for research. They would go to the bottom and like scoop up the like soil and the sand on the bottom and take it into the ship and observe it." He's like, "Oh wow, this is like he actually like it's a little like he's impressed by their like thoroughness of study, and these are dwarf scripts. I didn't think they'd really care about this sort of stuff." And he's like, yeah, okay, this is it. And he's like, they think there might be like gems down here, you know, those sparkly things. But it looks like there is a little bit of a science division that was dedicated to like just studying the plants. It's like that's probably why we had that lab upstairs.
He's been reading and explaining, and because she still likes the book, and she sort of like sat a little bit behind him and to his side, and she's looming. It's just like that really impressive I'm reading over your shoulder thing. And it's not that she's trying to be in his face, it's that she's curious too, as he explains that she'd like to just see as well as hear.
I feel like at this point he'd like kind of be adjusted to her a little bit, so he's like, do you want to see it too? And he kind of like just points at the text, like, this says this, and such. He explains that the elementals that were in here would power the ship through various means and control like the plumbing and the waste system and the like steam and gravity magnetic one. Like something. DM note, I just thought a magnetic one would be cool. I'm sure they had like some science reason for it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's that. It's mainly powered by steam. That's why they have the steam elemental, which is like kind of a goofy idea to me, but that's fine. They're in a steampunk ship.
Heck yeah. And she's like nodding her head. She finds this quite fascinating. She doesn't seem like she's just like, thog like rock. She's just like, and she sort of looks at the containment like units, and then she sort of looks back at the thing. They broke out and killed them, or ate them.
He's just like, well, we killed them. He like points at the pile on the ground.
No. Points at Pyle. They killed. And then she makes this gesture, like a food eating gesture, and then a hand gesture, like actual severed hand gesture.
Okay.
Alluding to the. And she's like,
I mean,
Body.
Finn is pretty smart. I'll roll an intelligence check to see if we can put that together. Okay, it takes him he stares at you for like a really long time, and he's like, "Oh."
it's when she's like waving that she's like, and she just like flops her hand. Oh, it's not waving. It was quite dead. Like,
Oh, you think these guys broke out and killed the people upstairs? He's like, Elementals don't usually eat humanoids. It's like, what do they eat? He kind of does this like, what do they eat? Huh. Anyway, but the wounds on those people upstairs were consistent with the ones they gave to us. So I think it's
something else.
something else on this ship.
She sort of thinks back, and she just sort of, her lips pull back over her teeth so you see all of them, and she just makes a little motion, the hunger.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be kind of hungry too. Like, pulls out some I don't know, seaweed or something. Like, I don't know, sure, seaweed and like clams. Starts eating them. He gives you some.
And she sort of shrugs. He doesn't get it, but she's like, oh, I guess he's not. He agrees, or he's hungry and he agrees. Who knows?
Yeah, and okay, yeah. So things pass on very quietly.
Oh, she pats him on the head a little bit heavily, as if to say thank you. Just like, oh, like, good job. Like, thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome. And we will. Who's at the next watch?
Nosalyn.
Okay, Nosalyn. You get up and join the watch as Sonom conks out.
Yep. I take the book with the sketches and I curl up around it and I sleep. Because it's cute.
Oh, Finn's just like, well, we're gonna have to figure out a way to get that into the water.
I'd like that back.
He's just like, and what we got next?
Oh, before she goes to sleep, can she do another, like, sort of, like, perception check on, like, if she senses anything?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
the hunger
just,
from
like,
earlier?
Are you, like, trying to rely on your, like, sixth sense to perceive someone, or?
No, she's just, like, it's probably, like, just vigilance on her part, just trying to be, like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep. Nothing else is here, right? There's still nothing here. That my 8 earlier perceived as nothing, just being double sure.
Yeah, roll for it.
Well, 18 plus 2.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You look around, and it doesn't seem like anything's happening. You can't shake the feeling that you are, in fact, being watched somehow, but you can't pin it anywhere. Like,
She stares, like, somewhat accusingly at, like, the lump of bodies. Go to sleep. got my eye on you, bodies. Sleeps. All right.
Yep, and okay, yeah. So Nosalyn's turn. You keep your watch. And just quiet. Just an eerie stillness sweeps across the engine room. And your watch is silent.
Just the way she likes it. She likes when nothing happens.
Yeah. And Velayrn's final watch.
Okay. Yeah. I get up. I stand towards the door, and I just kind of sit a little like crisscross applesauce as I am like looking around, but also take a moment to myself to do a small prayer to Laki. Just be like, what devils have these surface dwellers sent down to your depths? And
Okay, make a religion check.
sure. Ooh, okay. That's pretty good. Of religion. Oh yeah, my religion's. No, actually, it should be. It's a dirty 20. Or actually, no, it's a Sorry. No, it's even higher.
Okay.
It's a 23.
Alright, so you keep that question in your mind and meditate on it. And there's this primal quality to what attacked the bodies upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
But behind that primal force is something that is like capable of thought and like strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it feels alien and strange. And that's kind of what you want to get it.
Okay.
Your rest is complete as you get your full rest and are undisturbed.
Okay.
Which
No
I didn't want to
perception
do, but I'm giving it to you. I'll just make things harder.
A long rest.
It is a long rest.
Yeah.
And I switched out some of my spells.
Excellent. Now I can have all of my rages back. Yeah.
So, during the next day.
Yep. I'm sorry, I'm just opening
No,
up
it's fine.
documents and then they always want to take forever. So. The only way is forward, which is through this kind of small hatch that you have to climb up a ladder and squeeze through. And you just pass through another hallway, nondescript like the other hallways, and then the four of you tread carefully down the hallway, tenderly placing each step on the cold steel or metal, whatever metal they use, until another room opens up. As the door creaks open, there's a large room with towering edifices. Each has a crank, and it's looking over what appears to be like this large hatch in the floor. So you're like, oh, that's different, and you can like step down on these steps to the hatch. So it's in the center. It's like multiple stories, so it's consumes like the whole like height of the ship to fit everything in here in this central room.
Bless you.
Thank you.
The hatch.
Lucky
Allergic to
blesses you.
architecture.
Yes. The hatch eerily reminds you of a hungry maw, and there's another set of runes that ring around that hatch. There are piles of seafloor silts in square containers and a series of machines that seem to be processing the dirt, which like matches with what Finn was saying. This was a research vessel. You look around and see tools were left in their places haphazardly, like they were thrown on the ground. There's a small container with a sample of sod, and it's fallen to the floor, and no one's cleaned it up. You look further and see tables upturned, raw ore scattered along the ground, footprints trailing dirt. You guys follow one trail, and you follow one of the trails, and it goes to a small door. You open the door.
Knock knock.
We should.
So you knock on the door. There's no reply. You look at the handle, and like you can see that someone very desperately opened the door. So I assume you just kind of push it open.
Yeah.
Let's tread carefully.
You creak open the door, and you see on the floor of basically a broom closet, and it has buckets and things. There's another body. In her hand is basically like a sharp digging spade, and across her neck is this ribbon of blood. She has a parchment in her hand. Finn silently takes it and reads it. And he says, it reads, "There is no hope when the threat hides amongst you."
Amongst? What does that mean?
You hear Nosalyn. Hearing the note, something just kind of clicks in her mind. She's like, if the threat is hiding among them, maybe they've attacked each other versus something else coming from them. What do you think?
Sounds about right.
I mean, that would track. That's probably.
Sonam
We've
just sort
been
of
through.
slowly towards Nosalyn, and then she does a thing where her lips peel back over her.
Yes,
Well-
that's what we almost did to each other.
She seems pleased with herself. Ah, you get it. Good.
And Finn, there's this like, oh, look on Finn.
Well, I do have a suggestion. I do have a ritual of Laki that not many like to do because it's kind of frowned upon, but I do possess the ability to speak to this dead.
I mean, I'm okay if you want to do that. I mean, you should probably try to know what we're up against.
Yes, that's my thought exactly. Any clue, any gleaming detail would be helpful to us. So, alright. So, I'm going
Sonam's for it.
I imagine like
Finn is close to it, the thing, because he just like grabbed the note.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mhm.
how this ritual works is we can ask this body 5 questions. Let's see. Yeah. So keep that in mind as I lean over Finn, and then I lean close to the corpse, and as I cast my spell, what I do is I pluck off my focus, my shark tooth earring. I hold it by with the edge of the tooth pointing outward, and I look at I look straight into the cold, dead eyes of the corpse. As I stare into it, my hand reaches closer and closer to the face of the corpse, and I slowly embed the shark tooth right into the forehead of it as I am.
I'm into it. You also are making like super intense eye contact with me, so it's just like.
That's marriage for you. That's marriage.
Yep, that's marriage. Talking to corpses with shark teeth.
But I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I'm like muttering like a prayer, and it just sounds like gibberish to you guys.
It takes quite a bit of force because you have to take the shark tooth and like push it through the skull.
Yeah.
And so you guys hear this like crack as she like slowly like just knocks it through.
Yeah, and it's like almost like it's not me pushing through it, but the will of Laki is going through the shark tooth and just kind of pushing itself in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you still hear like the crack.
Yeah. Sick.
And there's this very odd feeling in the air as this Velayrn's magic fuses itself into this corpse. And there's this like almost recognition in her eyes as she sits up. And there's shark tooth in her forehead.
I instinctually back up just a little bit.
It's like the eyes are like aware, but they can't see you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like looking through it's like she's trying to look through like a frosted glass. She knows there are figures there, but she can't like focus on them. It's unnerving, very unnerving.
Sonom tilts head.
And then Finn kind of elbows Velayrn. Ask him something.
Hello. We would like to ask you some questions. Things of that happened to you in life before your passing. What haunted your crew? What manner of beast or otherwise did you face here?
What haunted the crew? What beast or otherwise?
Very quick.
She looks confused, as well as confused as like a dead corpse can look. As she like tilts her head, and you again like get this unsettling feeling because like she's moving in a way that's just not the way that living things move. It's this like sick opening almost. She says, "No haunting, no demon. Otherwise," and then and she she stops talking. It says that she didn't know what you meant by otherwise.
Do we have an unlimited amount of questions or only a few?
We only have 4.
4 left.
Okay.
Monkey paw curls.
Yeah.
Nosalyn asked, how long have you known about the threat before you were killed?
Thought it was contained.
I mean, we can ask what the thing looked like. What the killer. Right.
Yes.
What? I turn towards the corpse and be like, what did the killer of you and your crew look like? Describe it. Describe its physical form.
She holds up her spade and says, I didn't want to fall in its hand. So you gather that she committed suicide.
Alright, so
So
that's...
I guess they don't know what it looks like.
Well, I mean, at least in this case, she would rather off herself than.
How did they try to get her?
Yeah,
Help
and
her
you see...
whatever it is.
Yeah, and you see Velayrn look, kind of irritated. It's like,
Sonom just sort of looks at Velayrn. Contained. Because that confuses her. They thought they had it contained, because the only thing that she saw that was contained were the things in the engine room.
And then Velayrn, behind you, you hear just this faint patting of feet. Very small, just. And then one of the pipes suddenly bursts and oil spills all over the floor, and a spark ignites as everyone needs to make dex saves.
great.
Dex save! Bomb! Bomb! Whoa!
I'm great at these.
17. My dexterity bonus is not that great, but it is enough to make it a 17.
I got 14.
I got an 8.
Okay, those who got below, 14 and below, you'll take 11 points, and those who didn't will take half. So 14 and up half. So you'll take 6.
So I took 11 points.
Yeah, Velayrn takes 11, everyone else
Oof.
takes 5.
Oh,
So is this room up in blaze or what?
Yeah, it's really.
Fire.
Yeah, you guys need to leave. You need to get out, and so you look outside, and someone had taken oil and just put it all over the room, and you guys are basically you're basically pushed into another wing of the vessel. So you're well, we can't go that way.
Yeah,
So
I basically just groan and just this corpse is useless, and I grab my earring and just rip it out as we flee.
Hi, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you for watching Dungeon Damsels. This is not the end of the session, so please stay tuned for the next part. We update on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in supporting us more, please push the subscribe button, like, or comment. We also have a Patreon, wink wink nudge nudge, and our show is in podcast form. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, and plenty of other podcast platforms. Thanks, we hope to hear from you soon.